If your international online orders are suddenly delayed or more expensive, you're not alone. The US has abruptly ended its de minimis rule, which once let small parcels under $800 enter the country tax-free and with minimal customs checks. This overnight change has thrown global e-commerce into chaos, with shipments now stopped, inspected, and hit with unexpected fees. Delivery windows have stretched from days to weeks, and some shipments are suspended indefinitely. The frictionless flow of small parcels is gone, replaced by paperwork, delays, and new costs. This isn't just about late packages, it's a fundamental shift in how global online shopping works. Everyone from small artisans to e-commerce giants is affected. So why did this happen, and what does it mean for the future of what you buy online? To understand the chaos that unfolded in the world of global e-commerce and international shipping, let's take a closer look at the de minimis rule, a regulation that quietly transformed how goods entered the United States. Section 321 of the U.S. Tariff Act established a value threshold for imports. If a shipment was valued under $800, it could enter the U.S. completely duty-free, with only minimal paperwork required. This meant that millions of small packages could bypass the usual customs scrutiny and fees that larger shipments faced. In 2016, the U.S. government made a pivotal decision. It raised this threshold from $200 to $800, instantly making it the most generous de minimis limit in the world. This change was intended to streamline trade and make it easier for Americans to buy goods from abroad. The result? A massive boom in direct-to-consumer e-commerce. Suddenly, platforms like Shein, Temu, and AliExpress could ship inexpensive goods directly to American shoppers' doorsteps, often faster and cheaper than ever before. Consumers loved the convenience and low prices, and international sellers seized the opportunity. Foreign sellers gained a significant advantage, as they could bypass the tariffs and import taxes that U.S. retailers still had to pay on bulk shipments. This created a stark disparity between domestic and international businesses. Logistics companies quickly adapted, optimizing their operations for speed and volume. They processed millions of these small shipments every single day, turning warehouses and customs facilities into high-speed sorting machines. But not everyone was happy. Critics argued that the rule created a massive loophole for tariff avoidance. It also made it easier for counterfeit, unsafe, or even illicit goods to slip through the cracks, overwhelming customs officers and enforcement agencies. What was meant for small, occasional imports was now being exploited at an industrial scale, with warehouses overflowing and workers struggling to keep up. As the volume of packages soared, pressure mounted on the U.S. government to address the growing concerns. Lawmakers, industry groups, and small business owners all called for change. The $800 free pass had tilted the playing field, giving foreign sellers a clear edge and leaving American businesses at a disadvantage. Calls for reform grew louder as domestic retailers struggled to compete with the flood of cheap imports, and many small businesses faced declining sales. The stage was set for a major policy shift. Lawmakers began drafting new regulations to close the loophole and restore balance to the marketplace. And then, almost as quickly as it had changed the game, the de minimis rule was gone, marking the end of an era in global e-commerce. With the de minimis rule gone, every small parcel is now subject to inspection and taxation. Each package must include detailed electronic data: what's inside, who's selling, and who's buying. Customs now require precise product codes and full transparency. Many postal services, especially in developing countries, lack the tech to provide this data for millions of packages. Tariffs now apply to goods that were once duty-free, sometimes adding 25% or more to the price. Calculating and collecting these new taxes for every package is a logistical nightmare. The U.S. government says it's about revenue, security, and consumer protection. But the abrupt change has left global logistics in disarray. The system built for speed is now bogged down by red tape. The result? Delays, higher costs, and a global shipping headache. The world's e-commerce engine has stalled. The sudden U.S. policy shift sent shockwaves through global postal systems, disrupting routines that had been in place for decades. Postal operators around the world were caught off guard, forced to react to new rules with little warning or preparation. Many international postal services had long relied on the old de minimis rule, which allowed them to prioritize speed and efficiency over collecting detailed data on every package. This system kept costs low and mail moving fast, especially for small parcels. Now, however, every item bound for the US required detailed electronic customs data and upfront duty payments. This meant more paperwork, more checks, and a slower process for everyone involved. Some national postal services, unable to comply with the new requirements overnight, suspended all small parcel shipments to the US entirely. This left customers and businesses in limbo, unsure when or if service would resume. Warehouses quickly filled with undeliverable packages, piling up as small businesses found themselves suddenly cut off from millions of American buyers. For many, this meant lost revenue and broken customer trust. Even those postal services that managed to keep shipping faced significant delays, new surcharges, and much stricter requirements. The cost and complexity of sending a simple package skyrocketed almost overnight. Postal operators scrambled to update their outdated systems, retrain staff, and implement new software to handle the flood of new data requirements. The learning curve was steep, and mistakes were common. The once seamless global network fractured almost instantly, as bottlenecks and confusion spread from one country to another. The core problem was clear. Outdated technology and old procedures simply couldn't adapt to such sweeping changes in a matter of days. Many postal workers struggled to keep up. The new US demands exposed the fragility and hidden vulnerabilities of the global postal web, revealing just how dependent the world had become on a single set of rules. The world's e-commerce supply chain, built on the foundation of that single US policy, suddenly broke down. Packages piled up, and delivery times stretched from days to weeks. The result was gridlock, uncertainty, and a frantic scramble to catch up. Customers, businesses, and postal workers alike were left searching for answers. The global mail system may never be the same. This crisis has forced everyone to rethink how international mail should work in a rapidly changing world. The scale of this disruption is staggering. Nearly 1 billion de minimis packages entered the US last year, worth tens of billions of dollars. Now, every one of those parcels is a customs event, requiring data, risk assessment, and possible duties. US Customs faces an exponential workload, shifting from a low-touch to a high-touch system. The logistics industry, freight forwarders, air cargo, last-mile delivery, has been thrown into turmoil. Airlines lost a key revenue stream overnight. Business models built on fast, cheap shipping from Asia are suddenly obsolete. The economic shockwaves hit sellers, shippers, and consumers alike. The promise of fast, cheap global shopping was always a policy choice, not a guarantee. The end of the de minimis rule revealed just how fragile and interconnected global e-commerce really is. Billions in trade are now stuck in limbo. For shoppers, the impact is immediate. Higher prices and surprise fees at checkout. What once felt like a simple, affordable online purchase now comes with a sense of uncertainty. Many buyers are caught off guard by unexpected costs that appear only at the final step, making the shopping experience more stressful and less enjoyable. That $30 item might now cost $45 after duties and taxes. These extra charges can add up quickly, especially for frequent online shoppers or those buying multiple items. Suddenly, the deals that drew people to international sites seem far less attractive. The appeal of cheap international shopping is fading fast. Many shoppers are abandoning their carts or turning away from global retailers altogether, frustrated by the lack of transparency and rising costs. Small businesses worldwide face a crisis, navigating complex US customs, providing detailed data, and handling duties is overwhelming. For many, these new requirements mean hours of extra paperwork and unfamiliar regulations, stretching already limited resources. Many lack the resources to adapt, losing access to their biggest market. Some are forced to halt US sales entirely, while others struggle to keep up, risking delays and unhappy customers. Even e-commerce giants like Shein and Temu must overhaul logistics, invest in new systems, or build US warehouses, costs that get passed to consumers. These companies are scrambling to redesign their supply chains, and the ripple effects are felt by shoppers everywhere. Domestic US retailers see a more level playing field, but the overall market may shrink as shoppers balk at higher prices and slower shipping. While some local stores may benefit, the uncertainty makes everyone cautious. The disruption is universal. No one escapes unscathed. Shipping delays, backlogs, and confusion are now common, affecting both buyers and sellers. The new rules threaten the survival of countless small sellers. Many are left wondering if they can continue, as sales drop and costs rise. E-commerce platforms must rethink their entire business models. They're investing in new technology, updating policies, and searching for ways to help their sellers survive in this new landscape. The future of global online shopping is uncertain. As the world adapts, new winners and losers will emerge, and the rules of the game are being rewritten in real time. The winners and losers are still being decided. Some businesses will innovate and thrive, while others may disappear altogether. One thing is clear: the old way is gone, and everyone must adapt to survive in this rapidly changing environment. Why did the US end the de minimis rule? First, to boost tariff revenue, billions in goods were entering tax-free. Second, to demand better data. Authorities want to screen for counterfeits, unsafe goods, and forced labor. Third, to protect domestic businesses, who argued the rule gave foreign sellers an unfair edge. The government hopes these benefits outweigh the pain of higher prices and logistical chaos. Critics say it hurts consumers and small businesses, and that the old rule fueled global commerce. The move is controversial, but Washington is betting on more revenue, better oversight, and a fairer market. The gamble: will the benefits justify the disruption? The end of the de minimis rule closes the chapter on cheap, fast, frictionless global shopping. What's left is a slower, more expensive, and more complex system. Businesses and consumers must adapt, likely with higher prices and new shipping models like delivery duty paid. Big sellers may build US warehouses, but small businesses will struggle or disappear. The global marketplace could become less diverse, dominated by giants who can handle the new rules. Ultimately, both businesses and consumers will share the cost. The era of the unbelievable online bargain is over. We all have to face the true price of global convenience.